Hello again. For many people in this country, Rochdale is inextricably associated with the dreadful grooming gangs which operated there. Not that there are not many other problems afflicting this rundown urban district. There's an awful lot of things that happen there that are common to a lot of decaying areas in this country. Two of the candidates, though, in the by-election, which is coming up at the end of this month, the two front runners, in fact, the Labour candidate and George Galloway, don't appear to be all that much interested in Rochdale as they are in what's going on in places like Kashmir, Yemen and Gaza. This is odd. Election speeches are being made in foreign languages, and judging by the audiences listening to the Labour candidate and also to George Galloway, this is an election which centres almost entirely around foreigners and foreign issues. Azhar Ali, the Labour candidate, has been caught out claiming that Israel was complicit in the massacre of Jews last year, and so scared of the Labour Party of losing the election, they're still letting him remain the candidate. George Galloway, who's the MP for, was the MP for Glasgow, then Bradford, Bethnal Green at different times, has only one election strategy, and that is to talk about Gaza. He's making the election a single issue election, the issue being a place in the Middle East. Meanwhile, the Green candidate has been disowned by his party and dropped out of the election. He's not going to be standing at all. The reason is that some social media posts of his have come to light from a while ago, and guess what they were concerned with? The Middle East and Gaza. In other words, the whole of a British by-election is now concerned with things happening in the Middle East rather than what's happening actually in that constituency. All this is worrying enough in itself, but at least it's visible. What nobody seems to be noticing is a huge number of Muslim local councillors who are now being elected in places such as Tower Hamlets and are supposedly independent. This is part of a rather, I'm going to say cunning, but maybe I should say astute. It's part of a strategy which is rather cleverly done. If you wish to stand for a particular party in an election, then that party has to be registered with the Electoral Commission, and they will ask you all sorts of awkward and embarrassing questions about what you stand for, where your money is coming from, and all that kind of thing. By pretending to be independent, these Muslims evade scrutiny of that kind entirely. These supposedly independent councillors are all following a similar agenda, and they're actually part of a movement which has definite aims and objectives, but about which, unless you happen to be a Muslim, you're likely to know nothing at all. I wonder if any viewers have noticed how many Muslim councillors there are these days, and how many of them are apparently independents. They are part of what I'm talking about. In the description to this video, I give a link to an organisation which I suspect very few non-Muslims know about. It is called Muslim Vote, and it's supported by a large number of Muslim organisations in this country. In a part headed, "Who should I vote for?" we read the following. We appreciate politics is complicated, so our approach is very simple. We will not back anyone who voted against or abstained on the ceasefire vote. We believe in devolved decision-making. Local communities will be empowered to back a candidate that is pro-Palestine and pro-peace. In other words, the Muslim vote, both in local council elections and nationally in parliamentary elections, is being mobilised and coordinated according to events which are taking place thousands of miles away. This is exactly what I've been talking about, the politics of this country becoming aligned with Middle Eastern affairs rather than the interests of Britain or British neighbourhoods. Since so few people even bother to vote in council elections, By organising the Muslim vote in this way and relying on things such as so-called family voting, where the man of the house tells everybody what to vote, more and more councils are falling under the sway of Islamists. It's a danger that hardly anybody knows of, apart from Muslims, that is, obviously.